Oh, give me a break. Did you see her? She was out of control.
Did you address
those days are over.
Did
the
you
days
tell her
of
to do
woke.
that?
The days of woke. No, I didn't. The days of woke are over. That woman, I have no idea who she is. That woman was out of control. She was shoving federal agents. She was out of control. The days of that crap are over in this country. We're going to have law and order.
President Trump going off on New Jersey Democratic Congresswoman LaMonica McIver after she was charged with assaulting 2 officers over that now infamous ICE clash at the Newark facility. Now, Congresswoman McIver is adamant that she did nothing wrong and says ICE is at fault for her allegedly assaulting them.
The entire situation was escalated by ICE. They caused the confrontation. Homeland came and, caused this chaos that we see. It was a very tense situation, but it could have been, easily it could have easily not happened. They had every opportunity to not allow this to happen. It was very unnecessary. And it just, once again, we were there to do our jobs. And, if I'm going to be charged with a crime for doing my job, it just speaks to, where we're headed in this country. It's political intimidation, and I'm looking forward to my day in court.
All eyes are now on Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who said that the arrest of any Democratic lawmakers would be his red line. Eric Swalwell now promising that there will be more confrontations with ICE. Watch.
It's complete political theater, and I promise you there's going to be more unnoticed visits to my colleagues where they show up and they better be let in.
You said that this was a red line. What happens now that it's been crossed?
I addressed that in the statement.
This is a baseless, politically motivated distraction.
This is typical of the Justice Department trying to intimidate anybody who might oppose them, whether they be an elected official, a judge, or anybody else.
So, Kennedy, this facility in New Jersey has been used since 2000 for different detainees, federal detainees who were also in here. It was then closed for a few years, and then it was reopened. I don't remember any of these people showing up to protest the detainment of people or to talk about whether or not it was a safe facility under the Biden administration or under previous administrations. So what is it they're so incensed about now?
They have gotten addicted to protests. They have gotten addicted to drama. We all know that discussions like this that are so incredibly heated require adults who are going to employ some moderation, but LaMonica McIver knows that her name is not going to be mentioned anywhere if she sits down and has a conversation with Kristi Noem or Tom Homan in her office. And, if you look at this and the body cam footage, and there was a lot of video evidence here, it's very inconvenient for her because she is clearly not de-escalating the situation. And for these federal officers who have been trained to de-escalate, they've also been trained to read body language, and they know the intent of someone when they raise their forearm and elbows. All you have to do is listen to Ludacris' Southern Hospitality to know that when someone does this, they're about to drop bows on them. And that's a scary place to be if you're a federal officer, because you don't want to have to respond with force. But they have to move the conversation to this most dramatic point in order to get the one thing they crave so much, which actually fuels them. It's as though they've got solar panels on themselves. They need attention. They need chaos. They need drama. And none of that is helpful. None of that moves the conversation forward politically. And if they're really doing what they're supposed to be doing, then write laws in Congress, create a coalition, and pass them if ICE needs to be reformed.
Yeah, they showed up, Jessica, for several days. Mayor Baraka showed up for several days. He's running for governor. It does appear that they wanted exactly the attention that they ended up getting. He was arrested. He was not charged. She was charged. What outcome are they actually trying to produce here? It's unclear.
Well, they're trying to, at least in the case of the Congress people, and there were 3 of them that went down there, they're trying to exercise their right to conduct oversight. And they're arguing that they were being prevented.
They got in.
Eventually, but there's no question. The scuffle outside appears to be quite messy on both sides of it. And I'm not saying that Congresswoman McIver is not really pushing her way in, and there are eyewitnesses there who say that it was ICE agents who initiated the physical contact. They had seen the mayor of Newark being taken away, and Alina Habba, the interim U.S. attorney for New Jersey, has now dropped the charges against him in the hopes of being able to move forward. And I think that's the way that the government is indicating that they know that they have been overplaying their hand on this, and that public opinion is shifting against ICE and what the DHS is doing here. So we will see what happens with Congresswoman McIver, but I know that she was trying to get in there to see what's actually going on at this point. And you say, well, they weren't doing this under the Biden administration. There weren't people with green cards being picked up off the street and held in detention facilities under the Biden administration.
Well,
we weren't
these people
sending
have
people
deportation
to
orders to detain most of them. A lot of them are
most
gang
of them, but
members.
that's the thing we are finding out. But that's the thing, on an almost daily basis, we are finding out that there are people who are being detained unlawfully, that they should not be in there, that they are innocent. If they came here illegally, that they actually went through the asylum system, that they were due their day in court, and now they're in a detention facility here, or they've been sent to El Salvador. And you can understand why people are skeptical of this, and why people are honestly pushing back on certainly this aspect of Donald Trump's immigration policy. And you hear Kristi Noem today in front of the Senate, who can't define what habeas corpus is being pushed and pushed and pushed about what they're doing, and the American public is not standing for it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.